Some of the biggest shifts in history have come from small, unexpected moments. Not grand battles or sweeping speeches, but one look, one order, one slip-up that set off a chain reaction no one saw coming. This is Historical, where we cover the stories they don't teach in school. So if you're into history content like this, hit subscribe and stick around. In 1914, a wrong turn changed the world forever. It was a quiet morning in Sarajevo, and Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was on a diplomatic visit. Earlier that day, an assassination attempt had failed. A grenade had missed his car. Shaken but unharmed, the Archduke insisted on continuing with the visit. He wanted to check in on the wounded at the hospital, but somewhere between nerves and miscommunication, his driver took a wrong turn and began heading down a side street. The driver tried to back up, slowly maneuvering the car in reverse. Just a few feet away, standing outside a small deli, was Gavrilo Princip, one of the failed assassins from earlier that day. He wasn't even supposed to be there. After the failure, he had stopped to grab a sandwich and figure out what to do next. And that's when the Archduke's open-top car appeared right in front of him. Without hesitating, Princip pulled out his pistol and fired 2 shots. One hit Franz Ferdinand, the other struck his wife. Both were dead within minutes. That single moment, a wrong turn, an unexpected encounter, 2 bullets, triggered a cascade of alliances and declarations of war that exploded into World War I. Over 20 million people would die, and it all started because a car ended up on the wrong street. Jump ahead to 1948, in a tense Jerusalem neighborhood during the Arab-Israeli War. Israeli forces were preparing to move into a strategic building when a commander noticed something strange. The building was supposed to be abandoned, but a curtain moved. The team halted. Some wanted to open fire, assuming it was an ambush, but one soldier suggested using a loudspeaker first, just to be sure. They did. A woman's voice responded from inside. She was terrified. She said the building was filled with dozens of mentally disabled Arab children and their caretakers who had been trapped inside for days, caught between the fighting. The Israeli commander, realizing what would have happened if they'd opened fire, halted the operation. They organized a safe evacuation. Later reports confirmed it. If that soldier hadn't suggested using the loudspeaker, 100 civilians would have been killed instantly. One quick pause. One question. That's all it took to prevent a massacre and change how the world would view that battle. A single moment rewrote the story. In 1969, during the Apollo 11 moon landing, the world watched as Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin prepared to make history. But behind the scenes, the mission nearly collapsed. As they descended, the onboard computer began throwing out error codes. Nobody knew exactly what they meant. On the ground, NASA's mission control team scrambled to figure it out. Time was running out. In a back room, a 26-year-old guidance officer named Steve Bales analyzed the codes. They weren't catastrophic, just warnings that the computer was overloaded, but nobody knew for sure. And in that moment, Bales had to make a call: abort the mission or push through. He told his boss it was safe to proceed. His boss relayed it to mission control. The go signal was given. Had Bales hesitated or said no, Apollo 11 would have turned back. No moon landing, no one small step. A young engineer's split-second decision, backed by quiet confidence, kept the mission alive. Armstrong and Aldrin landed safely minutes later, and the moment defined a generation. Bales would later receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, but the world barely knows his name. Let's go even further back, to a moment that saved the Renaissance. In 1453, Constantinople fell to the Ottoman Empire. It was a disaster for Christian Europe. But in the chaos, many Greek scholars and scribes fled west, bringing ancient manuscripts with them, works of Plato, Aristotle, Euclid, and Galen that had been preserved in the East for centuries. One ship nearly didn't make it. Caught in a storm off the coast of Italy, the vessel took on water. The captain wanted to dump all cargo to stay afloat, but one monk, carrying a chest of irreplaceable texts, refused to let go. He begged for a chance to bail water himself. The crew let him try. For hours, he and others worked to keep the boat afloat. They made it to shore. The manuscripts he saved went on to influence artists, scientists, and thinkers across Europe. They helped fuel the Renaissance and eventually the Enlightenment. Western civilization might look very different today if that chest had gone overboard. This has been Historical. If you're still here, drop us a like. You clearly care about the parts of history most people overlook. So subscribe for more stories that dig deeper. And tell us in the comments, which of these moments blew your mind the most? Or better yet, which ones do you think we should cover next?